What up, everybody? Everybody, what's up, everybody? What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the What's Up, Everybody podcast. Here today with my new co-host, Sensei Seth. How you doing, my brother from another mother?
Yeah, here to stay, full-time replacement.
Yeah.
Super excited.
Yeah, we fired Sweet Tea.
Really generous salary that you guys gave me. Thank you for that.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
No,
we wanted somebody better looking,
Right.
shorter beard, tighter hair.
More confident.
Right. More confident in themselves than Sweet Tea. Sorry, sir, but you're out. Sensei Seth is it. Actually, Sweet Tea is moving into a new house.
Yep.
Got a baby number 3 coming, so they had to move, get a bigger place, and he's in the process of doing all that. But Sensei Seth was in town pretty much all weekend, dude. You were here literally all day yesterday.
Yeah. It was a full karate weekend.
Full karate weekend. We got some MMA training, some karate training. Sensei Seth came over to the Rent's house, and where the UFC came in and filmed us. We had a UFC fight party for UFC 272. Those are always fun.
Yeah, no, it's super enjoyable to just be around people that you like when you're watching fights.
Yeah.
But then to also be around people who know so much about fights in the first place. Like, you're obviously so in it that experiencing it with you and the people around you who experience it with you, it's very cool. It's
Thanks,
a very
man.
cool dynamic.
Well, we enjoy having you, man. We had a great time. We had one of our an amateur fighter who's 10-0, Ryan.
Mm-hmm.
You had yourself. You had a former NFL player, Brian Bratton. He played for Furman University, the Atlanta Falcons. He won 2 Grey Cups in Canada for the Alouettes, and now he's one of the coaches over at Furman University. We had, of course, my brother, Sweet Tea, Pops, who's got all the knowledge in the world.
Yeah, for real.
And fun to hang out with him because some of the stuff that comes out of his mouth, man, is awesome.
He's such a great mix of knowing things and being able to say stuff that's just funny that he's not even he's not worried about it.
He's not
that he's being
he's at that age though
bad or anything.
He's at that age where above 60, whatever you say, you don't even think about it. You just say whatever.
Yeah, sure.
You don't even care what other people think.
Right.
He's earned that.
It's like the equivalent of if you've fought for so long and you don't have to think about what you're doing, it just happens.
Yeah.
That's their humor.
Yeah, he's living life. He's been alive for so long, he just don't even care anymore. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it was more on he's just making fun of me the whole time.
Yeah. Yeah, he was pretty ruthless.
He always. My family's always ruthless. When I got knocked out by Anthony Pettis, still to this day they don't let me forget it.
Well, even last podcast, Tony just relentlessly going in on stuff we got to change. Actually, you know what? I wish I would have not said that and just at some point in the podcast said that.
Oh my gosh.
No, I wouldn't.
They're relentless. But we had a good time, man.
Yeah.
We got some good videos coming out. For those of you that don't know, my buddy Sensei Seth has his own YouTube channel. He does that full time.
Yeah.
Lifelong martial artist, but he's got some really cool, funny content over his channel. Go check him out. Go follow him. Hit that subscribe button on his as well. But some really cool stuff and some stuff that we have done recently and this weekend. We got some really cool stuff filmed.
Yeah, it's crazy. I've been able to come over here 4 or 5 times now, and I feel like every time I come over, it's something cool and new that we've done. That also is stuff that we probably both did our whole lives. Growing up in a karate school, just being able to play games and come up with random stuff that is martial arts and fun related at the same time.
It's funny growing up, my parents would literally go to lunch and leave us they'd just lock the doors and leave us kids, me and my brother and sister at the karate school,
here?
just to do whatever.
Yeah.
And I'm still doing that to this day at 39 years old, almost 40. And that's what's so cool about it.
I had a really bad habit for a while of anytime I was finished watching a fight with my buddy Zach, I would sneak over to the gym afterwards and just shadow box.
Really? It puts you in that mood, right?
It puts me in the mood, and it's so hard to get out of.
Oh, I know.
Even last night, I thought I was in an Airbnb, and I was genuinely thinking about plopping on my VR headset and boxing a bit. But there's other people who live in that Airbnb, and I was like, no, I can't do that. Like, but I think
Oh, it was one of those. So it was one of those where like you just rented a room or something in an Airbnb. How does that work?
Lovely couple.
Does that get? I would feel like it would be awkward.
It's very awkward sometimes. It's very awkward. And actually, they asked me about what I do for work. So odds that you see this are probably low. You're not that awkward if you see this. But no, it's a little weird because it feels like in this situation that you're like home from college and like these are your parents downstairs. But when you go downstairs and you see them, you're like, oh, I don't know you at all.
Yeah.
You know, like it's a house. It's very clearly somebody's home.
And I feel like, I mean, did you ever see them as you were walking to your
seen
room?
Them a few times. And
what?
It's very strange. Because it's like I don't want to make small talk with these people. Like I will if they ask me about like what's going on or like why I'm in town. Like I'll make small talk. Definitely don't wanna.
Yeah, because you just don't know.
I
mean, I imagine that. I mean, you would have to be a different kind of person to actually have an Airbnb where you have somebody just randoms come and live with you.
Yeah.
I mean, is there background checks and things like that? I mean, are there?
They kind of like ask you questions about like what you're.
Oh, so it's just like a face to face.
No. Like over the phone.
Oh wow.
So it's kind of trust based.
Yeah. Are you a murderer?
Yeah. Really quick, just a background check. Are you a murderer? That's not like on it.
Have you killed people?
I figured if you said yes, and that we could just not have to do the rest of the background check.
Yeah. What?
But
that's so awkward.
But see, I feel like I could totally see you being the Airbnb you live in it type of guy.
Me?
I think maybe that's like public perception.
I feel like I would have just the grandest time with whoever's living with me.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? I'm that way with everybody. I don't like the awkwardness, so I would just be like, oh, what's up, man? How you doing? Hey, man, can I get you anything?
Yeah.
Going to the grocery store, let me pick you up something?
Right.
You know, I feel like I couldn't just walk by somebody and not say something to them.
Do you get drained by that kind of stuff?
No, because I've been doing it my whole life.
That's fair.
I mean, I literally, and you guys have seen the day in the life of me waking up, going to the school training, but I'm in front of somebody, in front of people 24/7.
Yeah, all the time.
Karate kids, karate parents, you know, and if I'm ever down, or if I'm ever, which that never happens, or either that I'm really good at just not letting it get to me or hiding it, or you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You can drain the room with that kind of vibe.
That's true. That
you
is
know what I
very
mean?
True. Yeah. There's been plenty of times where teaching kids is like, it's hard. For me, in the times that I've been like in a space where I was like, dang, I don't feel like teaching today.
Yeah.
It was either one of two things. It either had to be so bad that I like had to not teach the class, or by the time I was teaching, I was in a much better mood.
Yeah.
Within like 5 minutes.
Yeah. And my dad's always told me like the rate of the pack is always determined by the speed of the leader. You know, so everybody, if you're the
smooth,
if
like
you're
that sounded cool.
Thank you.
I'm not gonna lie.
Thank you. Quote that. Guys.
Should have a podcast.
Yeah. So you know, me being the leader out there, determining the attitude, the pace of the class, the energetic, you know, vibe of the class is determined by me.
Yeah.
So,
you set the pace 100%.
Right. So it's got to be. I'm there. I'm in that 24/7. And I think that's one of the reasons too, on the weekends, I try to do nothing.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. So
you know what I'm
kind
saying?
of like recharge in a different way, just like by yourself chilling.
Because I'm at the school from, you know, depends on if I'm in camp or not, but like, you know, 10 a.m. to 10:30 p.m., 11 o'clock at night. I'm there all day, every day.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I mean, yesterday we were on a Saturday. We were there all day.
Yeah.
All day.
We're
here today.
Yep.
I'm here more than I am at home.
Yeah, I believe that.
So I figure if I had an Airbnb, it would be the coolest Airbnb. People would want to come back just to stay with me.
Think about, and this is like a Shark Tank for, I don't know who's investing in this kind of stuff. We get a house that has like tons of rooms, right? And then we put a gym in the bottom, and we can like rent it out like an Airbnb. And people like come in and train and stuff. Like I feel like that'd be. It could be
like a miniature.
It'd be like a resort kind of.
Yeah, but
much more homey.
It would be cool if you could film that, and it would just be like your own little reality TV show.
Yeah, like a Big Brother.
Yeah,
except it's Oh, and we kick people out of the house.
Oh, that would be even better.
As soon as you get head kicked, see
Yeah,
ya.
boom.
Gone.
You're outie. But that would be cool. I could definitely run my own little Airbnb.
You know what I just realized? I feel like we kind of just explained the Ultimate Fighter a little bit.
Yeah, we did exactly. Put a bar down there. We'll have a bar.
Way more casual.
Yeah,
way more casual.
That is lit. I was thinking that. I was like, wait, isn't that the Ultimate Fighter?
That sounds very familiar. I feel like my audio is a little low.
Testing. Say something.
Say something. Something. Yeah.
Testing.
I'm barely popping up at all.
Pew. Hey, we got you. I think we can fix that. Say something.
Something. Check.
Better.
It's a little bit better. Go up a little bit more even. Yeah. Now we're
getting there.
Now we're starting. I can speak up a little bit. Maybe one more.
See, you got this. This is you're getting what it takes to run a good podcast, guys.
Yeah.
Got to make sure the mics
better.
are working, the sound is right.
Yeah.
We're just missing our. We've talked about this pretty much every time we're on a podcast.
Mm-hmm.
We're missing our Jamie.
Yeah.
Our what would you call him? Information guy?
Yeah. The
fact check guy?
Every group, like the Goonies, other groups, they have the Ninja Turtles, they all have a tech guy.
Yeah.
You need a tech guy. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. I mean, even the Sandlot kids had a tech guy. Remember they tried to get the ball back, but they do use this
and they have the robot and stuff. Yeah.
We need our tech. We need our tech guy. We need our Jamie.
Yeah, 100%.
But great fights this weekend, man.
Yeah, they were. It was definitely like a Grappler's Paradise sort of weekend.
Yeah, I think it's becoming more of that. Like the wrestling era is coming back, but with just a whole new breed of wrestler.
Yeah, right. Like a completely different. Yeah, absolutely. Where now it's almost collegiate wrestling dominated, rather than
I've had some wrestling
submissions and more flowy. Now it's more kind of domination.
I'm gonna
take hold you down.
Yeah,
that kind of wrestling.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, there was some. We're gonna talk about the main card, pretty much, and but there were some pretty good fights. Some good fights. I felt bad for some fighters on there because they lost again. Speaking of my man Greg Hardy versus Sergey Spivak.
Yep.
And I think I did pretty good with my calls this past weekend. Normally they're terrible. I'm terrible at it.
Yeah.
I had Spivak winning. He won.
He did.
He actually beat Shuivasa. He beat Shuivasa.
Yeah, a bit ago.
And Shuivasa beat Greg Hardy, and he just dominated Greg Hardy in the first round.
Yeah, super one-sided.
Yeah, dude. Just took him down right off the bat, held him down, picked him up, slammed him back down. And Greg Hardy is a big
I was going to say,
dude.
that's a whole lot of human to just make airborne and then not,
Man. And that's a whole lot of human to after getting taken down and having to get back up off the floor. That's exhausting.
Yeah.
Trust me,
true.
I know.
Yeah.
Don't laugh at me.
Sorry, man.
But getting taken down and getting back up is if you've never had that happen, if you're not a wrestler, if you've never done MMA, you just don't know.
Yeah.
But it's exhausting having to get back up, having that body on top of you, you're not just getting up, but you're getting up with a whole nother human on your back.
Right.
So it's tiring, man. And he tired out real quick.
He did.
So I don't even know what's next for Hardy. I mean, that's 4 in a row.
So here, to be totally transparent, what I want to see of Hardy is we line him up with some title fights.
What?
Just 3 or 4 of them in a row.
Just 3 or 4 title shots in a row.
Yeah, just the best guys in the world fight Greg Hardy.
Yeah.
That's what I want to see.
Yeah. Now he comes from NFL.
Yeah.
Right over to MMA.
Yeah, that's wild. That's pretty crazy. And the reasons that I want that are reasons other than his athletic ability, obviously.
Yeah, you just want to see him get crushed.
Yeah, a little bit. But it was a crazy athlete. He looked a lot bigger this fight than he has in the past.
He did.
He didn't look quite as agile, and maybe that was to kind of counteract the wrestling a bit. He's if I'm
bigger body, maybe
it'll be harder to take down. He looked bigger. He looked a bit
slower.
He went kind of the opposite route that people tend to go when they're going against guys who are super wrestling heavy.
Yeah.
You would think maybe he wants to be more mobile. He wants to move a bit. And maybe it was like not something that happened on purpose. But
but that's what you had in your noggin.
Yeah, maybe he was like, yeah, I'm gonna be bigger, harder to take down.
Didn't realize when I got taken down, it would be harder to get back up because I am bigger.
Yeah,
so
right.
Your reactions are slower, and I felt that. Sometimes you go into a fight feeling just like you're the fastest guy on the planet.
Yeah.
And then I've had fights where I've gone out there and just felt sluggish. You got your good days in the octagon, you got your bad days out there, and that's the worst feeling.
Yeah.
That is the worst feeling. I can imagine.
Sure.
So moving on to the next one, we got this guy's welterweight debut, Kevin Holland versus Alex Oliveira.
Yeah.
I feel like everybody that moves up into our weight class has to face off against Oliveira right off the bat.
Yeah, 100%. There's something about cowboys and like fighting people who want to enter your division. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Cowboy Cerrone and Cowboy Oliveira.
Yeah, both.
Why haven't those cowboys fought each other? Have they fought each other?
I don't know.
We don't have a Jamie to find out.
Sweet
we have yes.
He's not here.
Tony? No. We won't find out.
He
you got to do your own research.
He would definitely know.
Yeah.
We'll never know. It's impossible for us to find out.
I could call him right now.
Nah, it's impossible for us to find out.
But Kevin Holland finishes him in the second round.
Yeah.
Was it second round?
Yes.
Yeah, I think it was.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure it was second round.
Yeah.
Kevin Holland's an interesting guy.
He is.
Like, to be able to fight the way he does, which like you see like the unorthodox fighters now, and even those guys are usually like pretty technical just in a way that we don't recognize.
Yeah.
He's like got so many different quirks and things that he does that like are still technical. I'm not saying they're not, but they're so unique.
Yeah. I mean, for instance, knocking out Jacare from your back. Right?
Yeah.
How weird was that? Using his leg for momentum to kick, to hit the guy as hard as you can.
Crazy.
That's hard to do. Hit somebody off your back with some power like that, knocking, one of the best grapplers probably ever in the UFC out.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize that Kevin Holland's a black belt. He's a black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
Yeah, I didn't either. Yeah. I didn't know that.
Yeah. So it's cool to see him. He even admitted it. He felt a little sluggish in the first round, but kind of found his bearings, found his timing, his range, and just ended up finishing him Oliveira in the second. It was just like a right hook that he smoked him with as he was leaning back. It was kind of one of those punches like, how did that knock him out?
It probably has something to do with the fact that he came down.
Yeah.
Like that he was 185 and he's got that power. And
he's been fighting guys that way.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly. And then it translated to maybe putting a little less into it and still having some crazy pop.
Yeah. And I think leverage being somebody, I mean, he's what, 6'3"?
Yeah, he's tall.
He's
super
very
tall.
tall.
He's got like 82-inch reach or something crazy.
81 inch reach. Ridiculous. How do you get on the inside of that guy? You just have to bum rush him. But then you got to watch out for his knees.
Well, first round, Cowboy like had some answer for him. Those low leg kicks were like spinning him full circle.
Yeah.
And then he would get in on him.
And they were trading right hands back and forth. It was exciting.
That was my favorite fight of the fights.
I agree. But the calmness of both of those guys were on another level.
Yeah.
When you mostly see guys when they're hurt or get rocked. Oliveira got rocked and recovered very well, kept his pace, kept his timing. Same thing with Holland. He was getting hit with some shots and just kept his cool, man.
Yeah.
He ended up getting taken down and almost got his back taken, and he's just sitting there with thumbs
chilling.
up.
Yeah.
Just chilling.
He's
okay being there.
Yeah.
So I thought that was I don't know if he did, but I think he maybe got knocked out of the night. Was that a performance of the night?
I want to say I think he got performance. I could be wrong.
Sorry about that, guys. I got a little phlegm in the throat.
Yeah, that's fine.
But that was a really good fight.
Yeah.
Moving on to featherweight. Featherweight. I think I was kind of neutral. I wanted one guy to fight, but I knew kind of like the other guy was going to win. I wanted to see the veteran win, but he ended up losing.
Yeah.
But it was Edson Barboza versus Bryce Mitchell.
Yeah. Yeah. Edson Barboza's incredibly cool as somebody who kicks a lot, and grew up in a style. Like I've always enjoyed the kicks. Edson Barboza's just like phenomenal.
Oh yeah, great, and fought some of the best guys. He went and he fought freaking Khabib.
Yeah,
he fought Khabib.
Yeah,
but fights at 145, moves down a weight class. I think he's 2-2 or maybe 2-3 now.
2-3 now.
2-3 now.
Yeah.
ended up losing to Bryce Mitchell, but Bryce Mitchell is just on another level. That guy's he was side kicking out there. I was impressed. I was like, bro, that guy's doing side kicks. Let's go.
I'd imagine he was like maybe trying to stay a little bit further away from those kicks.
Yeah.
And was just like trying to just stay super rangy, but
he took him down off one of the kicks.
He took him down, and he also how did he finish the fight?
Did
he finish it, or was it a decision?
It was
he
a decision.
Rocks him at some point.
It was a decision, yeah.
He like drops
him with I think it was early. Drops him with the right hand. Right or left hand, I remember. It was a straight shot, but drops him, ends up getting on top of him. But then after that, it was just take him down, control,
relentless.
control. But I actually sparred with Edson Barboza. I think this was before he was in the UFC at the Black Zillions in Florida.
Okay.
I was out there sparring with, this is before I fought Matt Brown. Rashad Evans, you had Michael Johnson out there. Wait, is it Michael Johnson? Yeah, Michael Johnson. You had, what's his name? He was heavyweight. Golly. He doesn't fight for the UFC anymore, but he was just knocking dudes out.
Arlovsky?
No, not Arlovsky.
He wasn't out of there, was he?
I think he might have trained there at some point. God, what was it? What was his name? I can't remember. I'm going blank here.
I don't think
he used to fight at 170, but he never made weight.
Oh, Rumble.
Yes.
Yeah.
Rumble Johnson.
Yes.
Is it Johnson?
Johnson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anthony Johnson.
Yeah,
I couldn't figure his name. Thank you, Sensei Seth. Let's go. Rumble. Thank goodness I didn't have to spar that guy.
Yeah.
He was just crushing dudes.
He seems like a nice guy, but
yeah. But I don't know.
You never know which of those guys are going to be super nice, and then sparring-wise,
at any gym,
Terminator.
That's why I go out there and I'm just the nicest guy possible.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I go out there, I show respect the first time.
Right.
But when I come back,
yeah,
I turn it up.
You know what you're
to expect.
With. Yeah.
So it was fun. Got some rounds in with Rashad, but Edson Barboza was so fast with his leg kicks. I just remember so fast with those leg kicks. But I hate to see him because he's a veteran, man. I hate to see him lose.
Yeah.
Bryce Mitchell's up and coming, man. He's young.
Yeah, he's like a fan favorite these days too. Like
he's got 2 twister submissions.
That's crazy.
Which you never see. I think the only person before him had it was the Korean Zombie.
Yeah,
who's getting ready to fight for a title.
Yeah,
at
right.
At 145.
At 145, that's gonna be a crazy one.
Yeah,
because I mean, you think about Volkanovski and the fights he's had, where they're just kind of like they're warish.
Yeah.
You know, like they're very technical, but they're warish. If there's somebody who can handle that, like it's the Korean Zombie.
It's the Korean Zombie, man. That's what they call him, the Korean Zombie. He takes a shot and keeps on coming. Just don't let him bite you.
Yeah. Then things start to get crazy. But I guess if he bites you, like then you're a zombie too.
Yeah. So
where do you go from there?
Yeah, I don't know. You both could just
arenas. That's when it gets bad. It's when
the whole arena turns into zombies.
It's the people. You know, it's what you got to take the people into consideration.
Right. But you got to think which zombies. Are they from Dawn of the Dead? Are they from Shaun of the Dead? Have you ever seen the movie Shaun of the Dead?
I haven't.
Comedian. It's funny.
I haven't.
Hilarious. Check it out. So then you got to kind of figure out which kind of zombies are they.
Yeah.
In your head.
What do you?
This is what guys think about.
I was gonna say it very quickly.
This is what guys. So if you're married out there, if you got a boyfriend, and then he's just staring off into space, and he's just not saying anything, he's just sitting there. Yeah. He's thinking about a zombie apocalypse for sure.
Yeah.
Where would he go? What would he be doing? You know what I mean?
Yeah. What do you think?
Survival situations.
I don't know if you talked about this on the podcast before. What would be like your go-to weapon
for a zombie apocalypse?
Okay,
if I didn't have like a gun.
Yeah, I guess.
I feel like because in zombie movies you have to be as gory as possible. You know what I mean? Because it's just like, how can I explode this dude right now?
Yeah, right.
And obviously they all die if they get shot in the head.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
That's a known fact.
Right.
Yep.
So if I don't have a katana on me, a straight up just like a samurai sword just lopping heads off, it would definitely just be like an A12 shotgun. Just fully auto, just murking dudes, shoot them in the head, heads exploding.
Yeah. So would you say if you didn't have a katana, so your katana would be your first choice?
If I wasn't allowed to have any guns.
Maybe if you have
bullets or ran out,
okay,
I would want a katana. Something fast enough.
That's fair.
Nothing heavy, nothing bulky. I feel like an axe would just be heavy after
just
a while.
Too much. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, that's fair. I almost like I don't hate the idea of a bow.
Yeah.
Or maybe even like
you better be like
you
Legolas,
have like
bro.
Like 30 of them in your vicinity, so if one breaks you can just like break one on command and just like start going at it.
Yeah.
I think that would definitely be the coolest.
Where would you go?
Where would I go?
Where would you go?
So I've thought about this. You've thought about this.
I've thought about it.
I'd probably I'd get in a boat and go like houseboat or something.
See, that's what I said to Tony.
Yeah, I mean, so houseboat, you got to have tons of resources. You got to go somewhere fresh water so you can start like fishing and stuff.
Yeah.
You maybe try and get some like solar panels from the top.
100%. There will be some dangerous trips out.
Yeah.
In order to make that boathouse livable and where you can stay on it for a long period of time.
Yeah.
Maybe enough time for the zombies just to disintegrate, pretty much decay.
Do they?
I think so.
They would have to, right?
Yeah, they would have
if they're
to.
eating humans, they'd have to run out at some point.
Yep, and then just fall apart because they're dead.
So you're relying on being the last human in your area, at least.
Yeah, I mean, there will probably be what you would have to wait several years for it to die down, and then go find the survivors.
Yeah, probably.
You know what I mean?
Have you seen the show? It's a show about zombies. Shoot, I'm missing the name of it. I just watched it recently.
Is it a Korean one? They've got some Korean.
No, but that's that.
Not Korean zombie, but
that's the high school, like the thumbnails like of a high school. I haven't seen that one yet.
Okay.
There's another. I think it's called Station 19.
I think Tony has talked about that.
It's a good show.
Really?
Yeah. So
it's a TV show. So they're like seasons to it.
They don't become zombies. Shoot, I just forgot the whole plot of that TV show. I'm not gonna lie. Do they even become zombies?
Or they just kind of like, or is it one of those things where it's like, doomsday? You know, something happened, and then it's like everybody versus everybody.
I remember now. Yeah, it's like a virus, and they filmed this before the pandemic, and then like had to be like, we can't really put this out yet. So it just recently came out. But it's like a pandemic where it's not zombies, but it's like as close to zombies as you can get before people like
freaky.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
I gotta check it out.
It's a very good
Station
show,
19, everybody,
or 11. It's one of those two, because one of them's a different show entirely. Like one of them's like a Shondaland thing, like Grey's Anatomy, and the other one's like about almost
kind of like zombies,
pre-zombies.
Yeah. Check it out, guys. I'm gonna have to check it out now.
You must have
I love
me a lot harder than I thought, because I just immediately
We had a sparring session before this podcast. We had some frustrations to get out before we came and did this.
Yeah,
because we were just amped up. We had to kick and punch each other a little bit.
Yeah, I left with more frustrations though somehow.
Did I frustrate you that bad?
No.
There were some toe grazes for sure. You got me some good with the chubby surprise as you call it.
The chubby surprise did hit you a bit, and maybe you shouldn't do that as you go like this. You shouldn't say that phrase, but my foot did come very close to making meaningful contact with you.
Yeah, I would say that's a point. You got a point. If we were point sparring, you would definitely got a point for that.
If we were fighting, you would have knocked me out. So I don't feel as good about my point.
I don't know, man. See, you give yourself less credit than you should. Like, you are a great fighter. I feel that we should get you and Sweet Tea like either a kickboxing fight, kickboxing fight, or an amateur like MMA fight. Not against each other, but just you know what I mean?
I've seen Sweet Tea, like there's footage. There's footage out there of Sweet Tea fighting.
Yeah.
On the YouTube's verse.
The YouTube's verse?
Yeah. And it's crazy.
The guys.
You two move very similar, and he's a scary human in the first place, and for him to be able to move like that, it's wild.
Well, and is probably one of my scariest. Everybody has kind of like a phobia.
Okay.
Right?
Yep.
Mine is like, okay, I have several.
Okay.
One, being out in a big body of water and just have nothing around you. So you don't know what's underneath you.
What about the boat theory then?
No, but I'm talking like bobbing.
By yourself?
I'm by myself.
Understood.
There's no boat.
Yeah.
I'm out in the middle of the blue ocean.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
And it's just me.
Yeah. Like you fell off the boat and they just left.
Yes.
Yeah.
And just not knowing what's
that is scary. Yeah.
There's a picture out there that I've seen. It might have been on Google. We'll get back to the fights in a second.
Yeah.
We go off on that's what podcasts are for. You know what I'm saying? We'll get back to the fights in a second and zombies in a second.
Yeah.
But it's just like a dude he's like this big, and it's like light, dark, black, and it's just an abyss underneath him.
Yeah.
And I've seen one where it's just like this, just like a
thing coming up
type thing coming up. You know what I mean? That freaks me out. Two, claustrophobia, which is kind of crazy because, grappling and stuff.
Yeah.
I'm used to that, but being stuck.
Yeah. Spelunking, I think is the name of it. When you crawl into caves and stuff.
No, I will not do that. There's a movie called As Above, So As Below. Have you seen that?
No.
Probably one of the most uncomfortable movies. I had to stand up in the theater. There was a spot where this guy got stuck and he couldn't breathe, and they were trying to talk him through it. I was standing up. I was panicking, bro. I wasn't. Yeah, it was like that.
That's really
bad. And then the last one is Tony in the best shape of his life, who doesn't get tired, and having to fight him.
Dang.
I've sparred with some really good people.
That's probably Ngannou's biggest nightmare too.
100%.
Is Tony.
Tony, man.
Yeah.
I mean, at his weight now. I mean, if he was in the best shape of his life, he would be a 205er.
Yeah.
But he's like 280.
Yeah.
Not in the best of shape. Could last 30 seconds, but that would be the most dangerous 30 seconds ever.
That 30 seconds would be brutal.
But it's a Tony that can go all day.
Yeah.
That's scary.
Well, and it's not even like, so I sparred with Tony right before the seminar, so for the class. And even like what you're saying now, as we were going, I couldn't touch him. I had a very hard time making contact. Yeah. And it's like,
and he's a big target.
And these were for rounds. Like, it's not like,
it's not a fat joke, Tony. Sorry, Tony. This is
so. Fun fact: if Tony decides to keep this in, we have had some technical difficulties. Obviously,
the entire time.
Not the brains of the operation here. Neither one of us.
Nope, definitely not me. I'm just a part of the show. Like, I'm just the face, I guess you could say. Tony does all the rest of the stuff.
Yeah.
Cameras, setup.
Yeah.
We've had sound issues during this podcast.
Yep.
We've had the camera just shut off because it wasn't even plugged in.
Yeah. Yeah. No, but look, here we are now. Yeah. The thing about us though is we persevere.
We adapted.
Yeah. Right.
And we persevered.
And by adapted, we mean eventually got it right.
Yeah. So, Tony's a scary guy.
Yeah, 100%.
Tony's a scary guy.
Yeah. What's really funny about this is that we were just talking about how scary Tony was. And then all of the stuff that we did that Tony was like, yeah, they can handle this, went wrong. And I was like, man, my dad's going to kill me. And I was like, oh, wait, that was weird.
Oh, dude, this is what it's about. It's an adventure. That's what this podcast is about. It's an adventure.
Yep.
So, we went from fights to zombies to phobias.
And I think we did all of that while just like barely skating by.
Right. Yeah, there's a lot of things that went on. Yeah.
So which fight do we leave off on?
Okay, so that was the Edson Barboza. So now we're going to co-main event. Let's get back to the co-main of UFC 272. That is Rafael dos Anjos versus Renato Moicano.
Short notice fight for him.
I don't understand why this wasn't fight of the night.
Yeah, very surprising. It was a good fight. It wasn't like super one-sided.
Yeah.
It was a very clear win for RDA.
Yeah.
But it wasn't like not entertaining.
No, I mean, I think what made it exciting was the fact that the sheer toughness of Renato Moicano was just like, dude, this guy's not giving up. He's taking some shots. I mean, he was gashed. He was finding his way back up.
He was.
RDA took him down, but it wasn't one of those where the guy's just going to hold him down. Right. It's like, oh my God, this is not against.
Yeah, working the whole time.
Yeah.
It was at any moment you knew it could have ended.
Yeah.
But it wasn't, which is what made it so intriguing. Like, there's plenty of fights that happen where you're like, this is going to go on for a while.
Yeah.
You don't think to yourself, oh, it's any moment. It could end at any moment. This one it was.
Yeah.
You were like, oh, yeah, it's bound to be stopped eventually.
Yeah.
Almost to the point where you're like on the seat a little bit.
Yeah, you had doctors coming in the cage checking things. And you're like, no, you don't
stop
do
it. Don't stop it.
So they're still going to keep it going.
Yeah,
That's what made it exciting.
Yeah, I agree.
But how tough is Moicano, man?
Wild.
On a 6 days notice, fighting a guy like RDA, who's fought the who's who of 155 and 170.
Yeah.
That's scary.
Yeah, right.
I feel like you would want to take a full camp.
With everything to lose. I mean, you could argue that maybe like this upped his stock in a matter of people want to watch him now.
Yeah.
Like he's arguably more of a name now because he took this on short notice and was like, yeah, I'm going to do this for the people. Yeah. Because he kind of is.
Yeah.
He did this for us.
And that's why I became a big Renato fan after this fight. A huge fan. I was always been a fan of him, but after watching that, it's like, dude, this dude's tough.
Yeah.
This dude's tough. You got to give him props.
100%.
So I guess for this fight, I mean, RDA, working his way back up in the ranks at 155. I mean, I don't know what's next for him. I know there's a line.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
there's a line right now
real.
for the title. So we'll see. I think Gaethje's going to be fighting Alex Oliveira.
Oh, okay.
I mean, is it Alex? Who's the 155 champ?
Oliveira.
I just know the
Charles
Oliveira.
That sounds right.
Yeah. Where's Tony at, dude?
Yeah, Tony.
As you can tell, I don't know names as well as Tony.
Tony, pull that up.
Yeah.
You know who we're talking about.
You know what we're talking about.
Yeah.
But
so
I think Gaethje's got it.
I didn't realize they were fighting.
I think
is that booked? Or is that like supposed to happen?
I think it's supposed to happen.
Okay.
And then you have, I think the UFC said Islam is going to get the shot after that.
Okay.
And then maybe
because they were thinking about Islam for this fight.
Yeah.
And then Islam was like, you went to bed too early or something. Because Dana White was like, yeah, I fell asleep thinking that we had this deal done, and then we woke up in the morning and the deal wasn't done to get Islam to fight RDA.
Yeah.
And then definitely Islam tweeted, you go to bed too early or something.
Oh, really?
Saying like, oh, well, I didn't have it as finalized as you thought. Which is funny because like I feel like guys like Islam don't say that kind of stuff. But maybe I'm wrong.
Well, sometimes you have the managers that kind of put stuff out there for you. They have they run kind of some of their fighters' accounts.
It always cracks me up when people who have like kind of broken English tweet with perfect grammar. Perfect grammar. And you're like, huh, that's interesting.
Yeah, you get guys that do that for them. You know what I mean?
Which is like fine.
Yeah.
Not a big deal.
But that was a great fight. Probably one of my favorite fights of the card. And then moving on to the main event.
Yeah.
The once friends, now bitter rivals.
Yeah.
In Colby Covington and George Masvidal. It went the way I thought it was going to go.
I'm going to tell you what. I'm very disappointed. I am probably the most disappointed I could be.
Why?
I really thought they'd be buddies. I really thought that this whole time
it was a scam.
They were, yeah, exactly. Not even that it was a scam, that just like maybe even the UFC didn't know about it, like that they were backdoor, just like
planning
out.
This whole thing.
Yeah, because think about how beautiful it'd be right now
if
we saw a montage of them like in all their moments where they're like, yeah, we're boys, we're gonna make it together, you know, like we're in this. I'm gonna be getting those paychecks, you're gonna be getting those paychecks, because they did it. They accomplished that thing, and then to have it be in this fashion, it would have been super cool.
How they started up training with each other, wanted to get to the top, and now they're just going separate ways.
Because this is a way that nobody would have done that before. This would be so unique of an experience to see two people that were teammates and buddies and wanted to accomplish the same thing, and then seeing them fight, but in a way that's like not a rivalry.
Yeah, just going out there.
You probably have to have some form of a rivalry to fight your buddy.
Yeah,
looking back.
Well, the thing is, like, I would definitely fight a buddy of mine. Right?
Okay. I'm gonna move over a little bit
because I fight them in the gym anyway.
Yeah.
Why not make some money together?
Yeah, that's fair. Sure.
And I guess it would be. It does come to the fact that I just beat you in front of the whole world. I beat you up in front of the whole world. You know what I mean?
That's true. Yeah.
So
if
maybe
you just
that
like completely outclassed somebody, that'd be tough.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I fought Rory, and we had a pretty close relationship.
Yeah.
Leading up to that point, I mean, we trained together, we hung out together, and it was love afterwards as well.
I didn't know that. I didn't know you guys had trained with each other beforehand. That's
he was
cool.
up there with GSP at TriStar, and I was up there a lot as well. So it was, it was like, hey man, let's get this fight. You're like, cool, let's make some money.
Right. Yeah. So, I mean, think about how cool that would have been to like then have all these montages come out of all these times where they're like, yeah, we're gonna make it, and then they do, and then they fight each other, and they have like this big
hug
cool
out,
embrace, and they're like, we did it, man, we did it. Because you see these fighters celebrate with like their team and their coaches and stuff, but imagine if they could both. I don't know. I thought that would have been cool.
I figured that would be fun.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
That would be fun.
It'd
you know what I mean? You have like guys that you train with. I have like my dad and one of my coaches, and the guy, one of my buddies and training partners has two guys that we train with too. We're just like, yelling at each other across the cage. It's just funny stuff.
Yeah, exactly. And think about what a fresh breath of air that would be.
That would be cool.
To instead of people like hating each other, fighting each other, to like have like a bit something that's more like martial artsy.
Yeah.
To happen, it would have been cool, but they didn't, and and Colby got the dub.
He got the dub, man.
Yeah.
The guy's cardio's on another level. Masvidal did good, but when you got a guy like that with the cardio to be able to keep going and just wrestle you and drive you down to the ground and grabbing wrists and hooking feet and just keeping you there, it's frustrating.
Yeah.
It's like, am I ever going to get up, man?
Right. And he did have that moment in what, the fourth?
Yeah, he staggered him. Staggered him, yeah,
Yep.
sure did.
But it was right back to same old.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know if he was exhausted at the time, but, when you do that, you want to go, but it's like your body's like, nah, but you ain't got it in you.
Yeah,
You
right.
know, I can't finish the fight. If I do, I'm just going to pass out. I'm that tired right now. That's how I felt literally my last fight.
Really?
I was worn out muscle-wise going in.
Yeah.
And then it got to the point where it's like my reactions weren't there. I want to throw this. My dad in the last of the third round was like, hey, man, I want a flying knee. Give me a flying knee.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay. When I got out there, I was like, it's not happening. Yeah, it's not happening.
So as an avid podcast listener, I feel like this last episode, you were like, these are things. I want to hear about your fight with Ellenberger. Yes. I want to, what did that feel like? Having somebody who was talking trash about karate and then just karateing that boy up.
I didn't think about it, and I didn't see that till afterwards.
Oh, really?
Right.
Oh,
I didn't
okay.
see him say it, but it was so cool, though, that I just happened to knock him out with something as karate as a spin hook kick. That's like, you can't get more karate than that.
No way.
Unless it was like the crane kick.
Two of them, too.
Yeah.
It's not even like it was just the one.
Yeah.
It was like
two of them.
back to back.
Yep.
That's crazy. What did that feel?
Cool.
What did that feel like? Did it feel as cool as it looked?
I was like, if you notice after I did, I was like, what? Did I just do that? You know what I mean? Like,
So-
because I was knocked down in the first, almost finished in the first round. He smokes me with the right hand.
Yeah.
Right. I drop. It's like my body went into autopilot. I dove in his legs, recovered, got him against the cage.
Yeah.
And then something just clicked. It was like, I'm losing this fight. And this was my first main event. This is my very first main event ever in the UFC.
Yeah.
And I was like, I gotta finish this guy. I gotta finish this guy no matter what.
Yeah.
And it felt like it happened in 3 rounds, but it was just the first round. It felt like the longest first round ever.
Dang.
And he was taking me down. I was defending the takedown. He hit me with an inside leg trip. I ended up reversing it, ended up on top.
Yeah.
Ended up picking him up, bringing him back down. I was wrestling him.
Right.
And then I got back up to my feet, and he immediately, I could tell that he was exhausted. He was tired.
Yeah.
He tried to, I don't know, finish me in the first round. I don't know, but I could tell it. He didn't have the bounces he did before.
Yeah.
And that's when it was like go time.
Yeah.
And then I heard my dad say spin. And I was like, all right, it's great when I got somebody to think for me.
Yeah.
And I just did it.
Yep.
Twice.
It was
first one hit him in the
crazy.
neck.
Yep.
And dropped him. Got on top. I did one of those things that I hate seeing other people do.
Mm-hmm.
I drop them and I just dive in on top of the guy and he recovered.
Yeah. Assuming the first one's gonna finish.
Right.
Finish. Yeah. That makes sense.
And then I was like, why didn't I just stand back up and let this guy get back up to his feet?
Yeah.
Hit him again. I knew he was going to bring his hand up a little higher.
Yep.
So I had to aim higher for the temple.
Okay.
And
Gotcha.
finishing.
And then, so what's really funny is you were like, what? Like, you have that moment where you're like this. My whole time since I'd seen that footage, I thought that you were saying karate doesn't work. What?
Oh, really?
And then being like, yeah, I told you so. So maybe it's better that I didn't know that. But no, it does make sense. But you're like, what? That's wild. That's very you.
How I was just like almost down.
Yeah.
And then I come back and finish the guy with
a
something.
spinning wheel kick.
Yeah.
×2.
And this was
Very
the guy
cool.
that was knocking dudes out. He knocked out freaking Nate Marquardt cold.
Right.
Just crushing dudes.
Yeah.
So, and it was a big jump up for me as well in the rankings.
Yeah. What has been your favorite fight moment?
I think my favorite fight, most memorable fight, was my very first one. My very first fight in the UFC.
Against Stitchin?
Yes, Dan Stitchin. Why? Okay. It's not because how I knocked
absolutely
him out.
Smoked him.
But everything leading up to it. So at the time, I had a different management team, and a part of that management team was a guy named, you probably heard of him, Hammer Time, MC Hammer. You've heard of MC? You've heard of MC Hammer,
I've
right?
heard of MC Hammer. Yeah.
MC Hammer hung out with us literally the whole time. Walked us to the venue. We ate dinner with him afterwards. It was really cool.
That's cool.
So he was great, the sweetest guy ever. Yeah. Hung out with my mom the whole time. Not only that, but I had my inspiration who just switched from kickboxing to MMA in my corner. Had GSP in my corner my very first fight.
That's pretty cool.
Super cool.
Yeah.
And then obviously the kick that finished Dan Stigen went from the very first fight of the card was shown on the main event card because I guess there was a few knockouts that were there's a few knockouts, so they had to have something to put up there to make the time last.
Got it.
Right?
Okay.
They had to add some fillers, so they put mine up there. So
they played yours in there.
And it just went viral.
Yeah.
The
Was it like in that moment that it was just like just
yeah, I'm like it was so crazy that I was just like, oh, whatever.
How hard did your foot actually hit him? Because it was so like on the button.
Yeah.
That it I was curious. How much was it like a whack? Like,
it was more of a whip, and it wasn't like a a thud.
Just went like
hitting the skull. It was just a pop. Just a,
and then
yep, down he goes.
Crazy.
Right here in the neck. And what was cool was I felt bad, but we rode in a taxi back to the a limo back to the airport. They were dropping us off, and we rode with him, and he still had my toe marks. He still had my toe marks across his neck. And I'm like, I couldn't help. I was like, I looked out the window the whole time.
You're like, hey, man, what you been getting into? Oh, that was me. I'm so sorry.
So it was crazy, man. It was a lot of fun.
That is cool.
But glad to have you on the podcast, Sensei Seth. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for helping us figure this mess out.
Yeah, no.
There was a lot of technical difficulties going on.
Yeah.
The camera shuts off.
Yeah.
Because we didn't have it plugged up.
We figured it out, though.
Yeah, we figured it out.
As
long I'm looking at my buddy Steven Garcia, who's here, who hooked up everything.
Yeah, Ryan.
My man Ryan over there. But great fights this past weekend. Thank you guys for joining. Hit that subscribe button. You know what to do. Throw some comments down below. Sensei, thank you, brother.
Thank you, sir.
Peace.